Hey guys, welcome back to another video. Today I want to talk to you guys about why everyone must have some sort of side hustle. But before I begin, I want to let you guys know that I have a free school community. It's a like-minded group of men. We share our losses, we keep ourselves accountable, we share insights into what we've learned when it comes to business, women, our relationships. And I also have two free courses in there, one on how to get your finances together and another on how to enhance your health, right? So those are some things I don't go too much into depth here on YouTube, but if that sounds like you, if that sounds like something you're interested in, click the link down below. So anyways, back to our topic today. I can't, you guys see me, I talk a lot, and you probably hear a lot of other people talk about side hustles, right? And, a lot of people criticize, hustle culture, right? Because, we think, or we know that there's more to life than just work, right? And I'm here to say that I agree with that, right? I do agree that there's more to existence than just working your face off, right? And killing yourself. But let me mention something that's very profound that might have some positive effect on your outlook and how you can plan and strategize your life based off of what I'm going to tell you here. In the beginning of your life, right, or early on, you start out with no skills, right? You start out, not knowing anything, not really having an idea of, what you want to master, right? And a lot of us start out working minimum wage jobs, right? We start out working at McDonald's, we start working at Walmart, we start working, anywhere that, has a minimum wage payment, hourly pay. And it's important to understand that, guys, 40 hours, right, especially when you're working minimum wage, is not going to get you far, right? That's just covering your expenses. So when you are looking to advance in life, right, you have to understand, if you want to stand out from other people, not in an egotistical way, but if you want to stand out in the sense that you want to live a life that most people don't live, right, meaning like a life of freedom, a life of more enjoyable experiences, then you're gonna have to do things in the beginning that other people aren't willing to do. Because here's the thing, freedom, you have to buy your time back, right? So freedom isn't just given to you, right? I mean, at birth, obviously, you don't have to work because you have you have your parents, right? But freedom in general is something that has to be earned, right? Because time, right, you have to pay for your time. You have to pay for things that are priceless. Like, freedom is priceless. People pay for cars, people pay for expensive mansions and all these sort of things, but freedom is something that I think is very priceless, and something that is something that like, that's the $1 million right there, freedom, right? When people play lottery tickets, or they try to play scratch offs or gamble, they don't want to win the money because of the money itself, right? Like, it's just a number in a bank account. That's all it is, right? It's nothing fancy. It's the lifestyle that it will give you, right? So with that being said, if you're early on in your life, right, you're working 40 hours, to get ahead, right, you're going to have your living expenses, right? Whether you're living in an apartment or a condo or a house, so you're going to have a mortgage, you're going to have rent, you're going to have insurance and things like that, right? So your 40 hours is going to really be paying for a lot of that stuff. So the reason you need a side hustle, right, and like I said, I'm not here to tell you which one to choose, but the reason you need a second job or a side hustle or drive Uber or do something that's going to give you extra income, because you need money to invest, right? And another thing you also have to acknowledge and accept is that the dollar is losing its value every single day, right? Banks are giving you 0.01% interest, right? The Fed keeps printing money, right? So your dollar is going down every single day as inflation goes up, right? And with assets, it depends. I mean, I think anyone can invest in a 401k. I think anyone can invest in a high interest account. But you also have the S&P 500, you have crypto, you have real estate, right? You have precious metals, you have things that you can invest in, right? That will hedge against inflation, right? And you need to understand that that's how wealth is built. That's how that's in wealth. What does wealth buy? Wealth is what buys you the freedom, right? Wealth is what buys you the time you want to be able to do what you would like to do. So with that being said, you need a side hustle, right? And another reason, right? So we talked about inflation, but employers, like, think about it, right? Job security. Let's talk about job security, right? Because job security is something that I think a lot of people think is guaranteed, right? Like, oh, I'm just gonna have it. I have this job forever. Guys, AI is coming, right? And a lot of companies have laid a bunch of people off, right? Now, does that mean that your job might lay you off? No, right? You never know. But again, with AI coming, you never know, right? You never know what could happen to your job, right? They could just tell you, hey, we're not, we don't have a budget and we need to get rid of you, right? So anyways, your ability to do a side hustle or have one that you can rely on a daily basis, weekly basis, right, is going to be important. Because here's the thing, a lot of people who are in higher positions, right, you may want to get promoted, right? You might be in a lower position right now in your job. You may think that the thing that's going to save you is that promotion. The thing that's going to save you is that high earning position in corporate or wherever, right? And I'm not saying you shouldn't strive for a better position, right? But you don't want to put all your eggs in that one basket, because again, sometimes it's not as likely as it may seem, right? Like in my company, there's a lot of people that are above me that are, general managers or in corporate that have been there for 15, 20, 30 years, right? So it's like, once people get a job that they like, that allows them to earn a good amount of money, right? Most of them have no incentive to leave, right? So a lot of these people who are in the position that you may want to be, right? They're looking at it like, let me hold this, let me protect this position because this is where my resources are, right? And most people, let's face it, they don't want to leave, right? They're making good money, right? They're familiar with their job, they're comfortable, right? So it's like, why leave? So I'm not saying, like I said, you shouldn't be open. The way you should look at it is you should be open, right? You should be open but not needy, right? If you don't have a side hustle, right, or something that you're working towards outside of your main job, your 40-hour job, then you're not going to be in a good position, because you're going to always feel a sense of scarcity, right? Because it's like you always are in a position where it's like you feel like there's not enough open positions because they're all taken, right? So, in a sense, it's like if you develop, if you have a second job or you're working on a business online, or you're doing some sort of side hustle, then your income, you're not going to have such a scarcity mindset, because it's like resources are everywhere, right? When you have that mindset of like, hey, I can do anything, right, then you put yourself in that abundant state where you look at everything as an opportunity, right? And there's never, think of how many, let's be real, guys, think of how many jobs there actually are. Think of how many opportunities there already are. Think of how many gaps in the marketplace there already are. There's plenty of opportunity out there. Don't let anyone ever fool you into thinking like there's some limited supply of money, right? But if you're in that one job, right, and you think that you're just gonna work your way up and life's gonna be good and you'll be able to do what you want. I mean, yeah, but like I said, I don't, there's a saying, right? Hope for the best, prepare for the worst, right? And that's true, because you can hope for the best, you can hope for things to work out, right? But you have to prepare every single day for things to possibly not, because there is a possibility that it might not happen. You might not get that promotion. You could get laid off, right? And I don't want to scare you guys, but that's the reality. And oftentimes, sometimes think about it, right? Like, let's look at it from a business standpoint. I think I've talked about this before, but let's like use YouTube as an example. My reach on YouTube, or anyone who starts a YouTube channel, your reach is accessible to the 6 billion people on this planet that have access to the internet, right? Where you are right now in your job, right? The success that you have is predicated on a handful of people's opinion, or opinion or like perception of you. Meaning, like, if someone doesn't like you or doesn't think you're good, right, or for whatever reason just doesn't like you, right? That could be, that person's perception of you could hurt your ability to move up, right? Could hurt your ability to, rise to the ranks and earn more money. So your best bet, right? I'm not saying start a YouTube channel, right? But have the mindset that like, hey, there's other things I can do. There's other ways. There's, just because I'm in this job doesn't mean that there's other jobs out there that people won't like me at, right? Like have an abundance. The whole point of this video is you got to have an abundance mindset and see opportunity everywhere, right? And if you look at life that way, right, or you can start to, generate some income on the side, I promise you, you will not feel such like so needy for one, like something to work out where you currently are, right? And that, like I said, that's not to say you're not open, but it's to say that you're not hankering for it. You're not like clawing for it, like it must happen, right? Like it's like a life or death situation. And if you operate from that way, you may find out that, hey, that job just wasn't for you, right? And it's okay because now you have extra income, right? You don't depend on one source of income, and that's the biggest thing. So, I mean, there's a million reasons why you should, have a side hustle, but I think I just kind of really nailed the two biggest reasons why. And, like I said, it's up to you. Like, are you gonna sit there and just work the 40 hours and just, do that for the rest of your life and somehow, when you go home, just not like work on something else? Because like I said, you got 24 hours in the day, guys. And I'm here to tell you, right? Working, on your side hustle on your days off is good, but it's not enough, right? You have to, when you get home from work, you have to, maybe you take a break, but hey, man, have the mindset like, hey, these are my hours where I buy my freedom back, right? And it's hard because, like I said, I've said it before and I'll say it again. You're tired, you're pissed off, maybe you're stressed out, maybe you had a rough day. But again, it's like, it's do or die. Like it's not like, hey man, like I'm tired or I'm stressed out right now. Like, let me just cruise or let me just not do it. It's like, no, if I don't take action, I'm gonna be here forever. That has to be the mindset. Like the mindset literally has to be, when you get home, like, hey, I hate this fucking job, I hate it, or it's boring, like it sucks, like I want more out of life. Let me figure out a way to make that happen. And like I said, the side hustle, it depends on you, right? But I'm here to kind of just give you the door. I'm here to kind of like open that first door and show you that there's a better way. So anyways, if you guys enjoyed this video, make sure to give it a thumbs up. If you're new to my channel, make sure to subscribe. If you guys have any questions, comments, anything, feel free to leave it down below. And as always, I will talk to you guys soon. Peace.